Welcome to another episode of I Wonder, Doctor.
Let's talk about organic.
I guess when I think of organic is, I mean, like I go into my local grocery store and there are two avocados, as an example, next to each other. One of them's organic, one of them's not. They look about the same. The organic one is $50 billion or some such, and the non-organic one is 5 cents. I mean, it's a lot of money, a big difference.
Well, I love your math. The organic one is 100 billion times more expensive. Not really. But let me address that later. I want to talk about organic in general.
Yeah.
Our species, Homo sapiens, appeared on the earth about 200,000 years ago. And from that moment until the 1940s, there was no word called organic. It was called food. It was the only food that there was.
Yeah.
In the 1930s, the United States Senate started commenting on the decline of mineral content in American soils, significant enough to write a report on it.
Yeah.
Yet the real problem occurred in the 1940s. After World War II, there was all these ammunition nitrates available, and someone had the idea, well, that contains nitrogen, let's dump it on the American soil, and they did.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the crops grew much faster and taller.
Yeah.
And yet, the nitrogen made them grow faster and taller, but they didn't put the other nutrients in there. They didn't put the minerals in there, for example, or the vitamins. So these foods that grew more robustly were mineral and nutrient deficient and unhealthy and more vulnerable to attack by insects. And so that had to be followed up by the insecticides and the herbicides as well. And what does it take chemically to kill an insect? A lot. These are very hardy creatures. And one of the most common problems we face in the multitude of causes of people's diagnoses and illnesses these days are the toxicities involved. And this is a major stream of toxin coming in through the American food supply.
Your timing's pretty interesting on this. I mean, you talk about this hitting the market in the 40s.
Yeah.
Well, that means that the majority, if not almost practically everybody alive today, almost all they've ever eaten is these agribusiness things, and yet we're living the longest lives we've ever lived. I mean, we're outstripping the lives of those 1500s and 1600s people by a mile.
And it has nothing to do with the nutrition. The nutrition is deteriorated. There is no question about that.
Yeah.
But other things, like the antibiotics preventing epidemics and people not having to slave physically so hard that they're wearing themselves out at younger ages. No, this is an entirely different reason, and it's not because of the nutrition.
We're living longer because of advances in medicine.
You betcha.
Childhood.
Childbirth,
Yeah.
infectious diseases, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yet, the nutritional illnesses, diabetes, heart disease, big origin in nutritional problems. That's what the new epidemic diseases are.
So these things are on the rise.
You betcha they are.
Yeah.
And people who didn't grow up when I grew up, they don't know what a chicken tastes like. They don't know what a tomato tastes like. I mean, I remember it very clearly. And sometimes my grandparents would take me out to the farms because you could pick them yourselves. And oh my goodness, the taste of fresh chicken and fresh corn and fresh tomatoes, they're outrageously different. Why? Because the vitamin and mineral content, which the taste depends on so much, was so rich back then. Yet, let me break it down to another nutritional issue that occurs. Your being, your brain, although you may not be conscious of it, you sit down to an agribusiness meal,
Yeah.
and it's deficient in the nutrients, and you eat and eat and you're full, but your brain is going, where's my magnesium, where's my zinc? Well, we gotta eat some more food. And so people are partially overeating because they're trying to graze through to get the nutrients that they're missing from the food. Anyone on a weight loss plan, oh my goodness, become a friend of organic because you're gonna be satisfied much earlier because you're getting the nutrients that your body actually wants.
So eating organic can help someone lose weight?
Big time. It's one of the cornerstones of a multifaceted weight loss program. And we talked about the price, right? You started this off with the $100 billion difference. I'd like to reiterate something I've said in an earlier video that, you pay now,
Yeah.
or you're going to pay big time later because little additional food costs now. What about the medical costs, the loss of work because you don't feel good, the deterioration of your social life because you've lost energy, the medical costs? These are astronomical. Your insurance is not going to pay for everything. Now, it's a hard for a young person often to have that long-range view. But you know, some young people actually get it. That's probably a good idea to put away retirement money. Well, you want to save big money and live well into your 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I can tell you, in dealing with older people who don't feel well, ooh, they do not like it. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Invest in that. You're going to love it. You're going to be playing. You're going to be walking and talking and maybe even doing some athletic things and being able to take care of your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and actually play with them and actually think clearly enough to talk to them. Oh, my goodness. Nutrition is a big reason that you're going to celebrate it if you have the foresight to invest now.
Got it.